Welcome to the John and Heidi Show podcast.
John and Heidi.
Here's John and Heidi.
Thank you so much for listening to the John and Heidi Show on a Friday. Hey, baby, how you doing?
Hey, I'm good. How are you?
Well, it's Friday, so I got to be good, right? Isn't that the rule, like the law or something?
Yeah.
You have to be good on Fridays? Well, it usually is kind of the case, too. Coming up later in the program, I'm excited to be visiting with Jessy King. He's got a book called The Exchange, and then the subtitle is pretty cool. It's called Wild Times and Italian Rhymes.
Okay.
Can't wait to hear the story about that. So I'll be visiting with Jessy King later. Hey, a survey of Glamour magazine readers resulted in 50% of Glamour readers saying they would throw a, quote, divorce party. Would you do that, Heidi?
We've been to a divorce party.
We have. We actually, yeah. So, but would you throw a divorce party if you divorced me?
Well, if I was divorcing you, because I want to divorce you, so yeah.
She'd be like, I'm free of that guy. Party time. A skincare clinic in Bangkok, Thailand was raided by the Public Health Ministry for allegedly prescribing super glue as an acne remover. I wonder if it did the trick, though.
Yeah.
It makes you wonder. It's Friday, the 15th of April. We got some special things happening. We'll tell you about that in a bit.
John and Heidi.
Today is a special day, Heidi. Do you know what today is?
What is today, John?
Thought you'd never ask. It's Friday, April the 15th. That means today is income tax payday. The good news is this year you actually do get an extension. All of us do, Monday the 18th, so you got a little more time. But today is officially income tax payday. It's also Get to Know Your Customers Day. It is Jackie Robinson Day. It is McDonald's Day. It is Rubber Eraser Day. It is That Sucks Day. It is World Art Day. And my favorite on the list, it is Take a Wild Guess Day. So today's a good day to just take a wild guess. Maybe I should give you some things to take wild guesses at. But I won't. Today's not a good day to take wild guesses while you're filling out your tax forms, I can tell you that.
Probably not, no.
How did you come to the conclusion that that was the number?
I
just
guessed.
took a wild guess. That's how I did it. All right, it's a day to celebrate one way or another. Get out there on this Friday, the 15th day of April.
John and Heidi.
This portion of the John and Heidi Show is brought to you by Knowles Systems. If you have funds earning less than 6%, listen to this. Commercial mortgage bridge loans pay 6% to 8%. That might be just what you need. You're placed in first position on loans secured by high-quality commercial real estate like hotels, apartments, and office buildings. Your principal never fluctuates in value. You receive 6% per year paid monthly, and your principal is returned in full at the end of each cycle. You never pay commissions, management fees, or asset charges, and you can make these loans inside or outside of an IRA. I'll give you a toll-free number to call, 888-547-8007. Start earning 6% now. Call 888-547-8007.
John and Heidi.
You know it's true because you heard it on the radio. What qualifies as a legitimate tax deduction? I thought today would be the perfect day. I've been saving this for like 2 weeks. You ready for this?
Sure.
Some actual tax deductions from a firm in Cupertino, California. A San Jose couple donated a halibut to the Salvation Army. The wife caught this halibut on an Alaskan vacation. They claimed the fish weighed 700 pounds, and at the market, the price of a 700-pound market price rather of $7.99 a pound, they paid for their entire vacation with a write-off for that donation. A 700-pound halibut that they donated.
Nice.
That is a big halibut. I don't think that there is such a thing as a 700-pound halibut, though. A father deducted the cost of a musical instrument and lessons for his son, who played the clarinet to help correct an overbite. A cat owner deducted the cost of the kitty cat because the cat was trained to alert his hearing impaired master to unusual sounds. Again, today is tax day, so we've got some interesting, and these are all legitimate tax deductions. That first one, though, a 700-pound halibut? I just don't know. They say childbirth. That it damaged the carpets. Nobody gave birth on it, but a woman who conducted Lamaze classes in her family room claimed a pregnant woman, the pregnant women, rather, were wearing out the carpet during the exercises.
Oh, my goodness.
Yeah, so she got new carpet, and it was a write-off. These are actual deductions that people have done. How about a paraplegic doctor recommended swimming as a therapy? So a woman built a glamorous pool with water spouting Cupid statues. The IRS allowed a $70,000 deduction, including $5,000 for the Cupids.
What?
Yeah.
Those are not necessary.
These are deductions that I'm not claiming that you should do these. These are things people
Wow.
claimed. And the last one on the list, a man wrote off a wig. He bought the rug to relieve mental stress of him going bald. So he said, hey, I was stressed out. I had to buy a wig. So that's a write-off. There
Okay.
you go. Be careful what you write off because you'll also
Yeah,
get...
make sure those are legitimate.
you
Those.
get audited, too.
Yeah.
So there you go. You know it's true because you heard it on the radio.
John and Heidi.
The John and Heidi Show is brought to you in part by the Keystone Treatment Center.
This is your brain, and this is your brain on drugs. We share silly stories here on the program, but addiction is no joke. If you or someone you know suffers with an addiction to drugs or alcohol, make today the day you seek help.
Call toll-free 844-204-1055.
That's a toll-free number. Again,
844-204-1055.
and this is your brain on drugs. 3 Rhode Island men have been arrested after a brawl over a plastic chair worth about $12. $12 plastic chair.
Come
None
on,
of the men
people.
even owned the chair. Several of the men fell into the water. They fell off the dock into the harbor. 3 men then jumped in a boat and took off when the police arrived. They were forced to swim back to shore after hitting a rock and taking on water. Alcohol may have been involved. Do you think?
Yeah. No.
Really? You know, the funny thing is, when you're under the influence of something like that, all of a sudden things take on different meanings. Like a $12 plastic chair that they were fighting over. It's my chair. No, it's my chair. If they were all sober and clear-minded, I don't think any of them would even want the chair.
No, probably not.
So they got in a big old fight. The police came. They destroyed their boat when they hit the rock. Was it worth it, guys? I mean, was it? Really? All right, coming up, we've got your moment of duh. That's on the way.
John and Heidi.
Arati Rishi, a 20-year-old first-degree Taekwondo black belt, was substituting for a regular sensei at the dojo, and this was in Bayonne, New Jersey. She thought that she'd be a show-off, and she instructed one of the students to, quote, shoot an arrow at her,
Okay.
and I will catch it in my hands right in front of my face. She caught it with her left eye.
Oh, my gosh.
Yeah, the regular sensei, Chris Cherico, said,
Oh.
that would have never happened if I had been there. I would have never allowed such a stunt. Adding, quote, that's not the kind of school we run, end quote. In the meantime, Atari's going to be okay as long as you consider going through the rest of your life with just one
my
eye.
gosh.
Okay, then it's going to be fine. So,
That just makes me... That just
20-year-old
makes me cringe.
Taekwondo black belt. You'd think they would be smarter than that.
You'd think so.
And this was a young lady. That's the most impressive thing to me. Usually it's just guys that do dumb stuff like that. But no, not her. Coming up, we've got your scoop of the day. That is on the way.
The Scoop of the Day is brought to you by Wells Blue Bunny. If you want delicious ice cream, be sure to look for the Blue Bunny. Sure to have your favorite flavors. Learn more at bluebunny.com.
Now, your scoop of the day. Authorities in Indian River County, Florida, arrested a man after he allegedly tried to break into the county jail by ramming his car into the front door. Then he tried to climb a fence. The suspect, 24-year-old Patrick Rempe, was arrested when he got tangled on the razor wire. He was trying to get in to see a friend. The good news is now he's an inmate as well, so they can chat all they want. A New York woman was arrested after she bit an employee of a Vermont store when he attempted to retrieve underwear that she had allegedly stolen from the store.
Oh, nice.
The woman is accused of biting loss prevention officer Richard Durham. He works at the TJ Maxx there in Vermont. And he told the police the woman kicked him, then slapped his glasses off his face, and then bit his thumb after he had taken her purse to check for the stolen underwear. Police say Durham retrieved the $21.50 underwear from the woman's bag.
What?
So, there you go. Is that
That's
TJ?
a lot of money for underwear.
Maybe it was a big package of underwear. I don't know. Because usually TJ Maxx, I don't think they're usually that expensive, are they?
No.
Or they were really, really nice
They
underwear.
must have been really nice.
A woman gave birth in the back of a taxi in Delhi, India, and named the baby Uber.
Oh, good Lord.
Wouldn't that be kind of a slap in the face to a taxi driver? Because taxis and Ubers are two different things, aren't they? I don't know. Maybe I don't understand Uber. According to a study in the Journal of Human Factors, talking on a cell phone makes 18 to 25-year-olds drive like they're 70. Researchers at the University of Utah found that the young motorists talking on their cell phones while driving move and react more slowly and increase their risk of accidents, almost mirroring exactly the statistics of elderly drivers. So if you want to act like an old person, they're saying talk on your phone while you're driving. You know, the crazy thing is, I would rather have them drive a little slow than as fast as I see some young drivers drive.
Our son is ridiculous behind the wheel.
Yeah, again, that was a study of 18 to 25-year-olds. Americans tend to identify so much with their automobiles that they're often giving their cars nicknames, and they even talk to them while they're driving. We do that.
Yes.
According to a recent AP AOL poll, I didn't even know AOL was still around. Well, I guess they are. 20% of drivers name their car. The number one nickname, by the way, is Betsy, followed by Nellie, then Blue, then Baby. 3 in 10 think their cars has a gender. They call their car either male or female name. 23% of drivers think their cars are female, while only 7% say their car is a male. 62% believe their car, the kind of car you drive, tells others something about you and who you are as a person. I think there's some truth to that.
Yeah.
Every once in a while, you see somebody that just doesn't fit the car that they drive. I used to work with a guy that he was really neat and tidy, and everything was just, like, perfect, and then his car was, like, falling apart. And I was like, that just doesn't, I can't compute. That doesn't make sense to me. But you know what? Maybe that's all he could afford for a car. There must have been. What are the names that we've given our cars?
Well, we've got Gary. That's
Gary.
my car.
Yeah.
Susie. That's
Taylor's
our daughter's car.
Susie.
And
Does Troy have a name for his car?
I think, well, he was calling it the cranberry?
Oh, yeah. Or the raspberry or
The
something. I don't know
raspberry,
what it
something
was.
like that for
Anyway.
a while, but I don't know.
If you've got a name for your car, I guess that's cool, and you're not alone. You may think your one true love is the most important thing in your life, but would you be offended if I said you could be wrong? It appears that our home computers take that honor. A recent study finds 65% of Americans spend more time with their computer than their spouse or significant other. Digital Trends says, Kelton Research did the project. They found out that 52% of us said our most recent computer problem caused us to feel anger, sadness, or alienation. So
That's definitely the case in our house. You spend a lot of time on
I got to
your
tell you,
computer.
though, I love you way more than my computer. If somebody was going to say, I'm
But
going to
if you
shoot
had... No.
one or the other, Heidi or the
No.
computer, goodbye, computer.
Let's ask you this. If you had to go a week without your computer and your cell phone or a week without me, you would choose to go a week without me.
I'd call you once in a while, though. No, I'd go
So
without.
that is definitely a
I would-
priority in your life, for sure.
I would choose to go on vacation with you and say goodbye to that stuff.
You
We
would
should do
not.
it.
You
Oh,
would go
we
on
should.
vacation, but you'd sneak the
No.
computer.
Just because I've done it in the past doesn't mean I would do it.
So the computer is. You might not think so, but the computer and
Why
your
did I even
your
bring this
attachment
story
to email and to Facebook is way
Hey,
more important to you than
look at
your
this.
attachment to me.
It's time for the strange law.
Just saying.
Men may not be seen publicly in any kind of strapless gown in the state of Florida. Thank
That's
goodness
probably
for
a
that.
good law.
It's a good law. It's a strange law. This has been your Scoop of the Day.
John and Heidi.
This portion of the John and Heidi Show is brought to you by Knowles Systems. If you have funds earning less than 6%, listen to this. Commercial mortgage bridge loans pay 6% to 8%. That might be just what you need. You're placed in first position on loans secured by high-quality commercial real estate like hotels, apartments, and office buildings. Your principal never fluctuates in value. You receive 6% per year paid monthly, and your principal is returned in full at the end of each cycle. You never pay commissions, management fees, or asset charges, and you can make these loans inside or outside of an IRA. Start earning 6%. Go to commercialmortgagebridgeloans.com right now. What are you waiting for? Go to commercialmortgagebridgeloans.com. Again, that's commercialmortgagebridgeloans.com.
John and Heidi.
Thank you so much for listening to the John and Heidi Show. Today is tax day, and this is not the kind of day that you really want to talk about taking risks, but that's what we're going to be talking about, how to take risks that challenge your life, and that's in a good way. Going to be visiting right now with Jessy King, author of The Exchange, Wild Times and Italian Rhymes. Jessy, how are you today?
I'm doing well, and yourself?
Very, very good. I love the title of the book. You told me a little bit before we went on the air about that, but let's talk about why you called it that, because I think that's a cool story.
Well, it's a really interesting story, actually. Originally, it was called the Jessy King Project, because while we were working on it, we really had no title. And over time, what I ended up doing was going back and talking with my parents, and my dad thought it was a great idea to have a really simple, easy name, like the exchange, because that's what I did years ago as I went on a student exchange. And after a while, I went and asked my mom what she thought, and she wanted something kind of snappier and flashier, and she felt that Wild Times and Italian Rhymes was something that would catch everybody's attention.
I love it.
So in the pitch meetings, isn't that great? So in
Yeah.
the pitch meetings, the producers and publishers and everything said, we love it. We need a title and a subtitle. And that's what the publishing company came up with, and that's the first thing that catches people's eyes.
I think that's fun. Now, in the book, what is it that you talk about? You talk about this journey that you grew up on a farm, and then where did that take you?
Well, here's the thing. I actually only went to high school for about 3 years because I had finished all of my credits. And I really, back in 2001, had about 2 or 3 choices in life. I, could have found, one of those terrible jobs that we all end up getting, just to kind of get through, go to college or go into the military. And an advisor at the time said, there's scholarships to actually go overseas. And this is pre-September the 11th, so this is long before, enlisting in the military was, the thing that it became. And going overseas was something that just, people did. And that's really kind of what motivated me as I started to research more and more into it. And where the risk really came in was I hadn't turned 18 yet. So it was kind of the first time living away from home, kind of making decisions, going to a country where, not only was I a foreigner, but I didn't speak the language. I didn't really know much about the culture because my knowledge of Italy was about the same as, my knowledge of any other country outside the United States. And that was really the risk that I took was, challenging myself to fly 5,000 miles away and, see what life was like somewhere else.
So as you talk about taking risks, that's a way to challenge yourself. That's a good thing. Explain how that's a good thing.
Well, the reason it's a good thing is it shows you what kind of person you can become. Risk is always, for some reason, either looked at this wonderful, amazing thing if it works out, or it's this horrible, scary thing, if there's a potential for it not working out. But I like to use the word adventure, because I think every day can be an adventure. And that's what you have to keep in mind is, you're challenging yourself. Because at the end of the day, it's you and only you that you have responsibility to. And if you feel that, your life isn't going anywhere or isn't heading in a direction you'd like, challenge yourself. Take a risk. Do something different. Change your hair. Do whatever it is that you feel that day is going to make you a better you.
Again, visiting right now with Jessy King. Jessy is the author of The Exchange, Wild Times and Italian Rhymes. Now, describe how you learned from these positive and negative experiences that you had while you were overseas.
Well, what it made me do is really think about what I wanted to do and say. Because I think when I first got over there, I kind of had this view of, well, I'm so good, I'm so great. I mean, here I am, I'm this foreigner, I'm from America. I had this idea of I could go out and conquer everything. And I think what I talk about in the book is I talk about not just the fun and exciting things I got to do, but the interpersonal relationships as well as some of my, personal shortcomings and mistakes. And it challenged me to be better. And that's something that, the past, 12, I guess it's 14 years now since I did this, that's a challenge that I keep working on. And that has always been really important to me to make sure I'm being better than I was the day before. And that sounds really cliche, but it's something that allows me to go and do the things like I did. When I was at the LA Book Festival, I had so many people come up to me and say, is it really possible to go out and just, change yourself to the best way you want to? And I go, yeah, you got to put a little effort into it, but there's also a faith and a personal growth need. And that's what I try to tell people is that, go out and be the best you you can be.
I like that a lot. And there's a famous quote from Henry Ford. I've actually got a little quote on my wall here from him. It says, "Whether you think you can or whether you think you can't, you're right either way." And I always thought that was so cool because it kind of summarizes everything. If you go into something saying, "I'm going to fail at this, I'm not going to be good at this is going to be awful," you're right. It's going to be awful. But if you go into it going, "You know what? Let's have an adventure. Let's make this fun. Let's do something really neat," chances are you're going to have a much better experience. Again, Jessy King. The book is called The Exchange, and I love the subtitle on here, so you got to tell Mom 2 thumbs up. Wild Times and Italian Rhymes. Jessy, where can we find a copy of this book?
Well, a little bit of everywhere. So in about 3 or 4 months, we're going to actually head to kind of bookstores all over. But right now, Amazon.com and BarnesandNoble.com have been giving people great deals. I love Amazon. Amazon has gone above and beyond for me. And we also have the ebook out now. So for all those people on the Kindles and iPads and all those wonderful things, you can get the ebook. And, check it out. It's a story that it's an easy read, and it's something where, we've just had such a good response. And, I hope more people don't just read it just to read it, but read it and go, wow, I think I can go out and, be better at whatever it is they want to do.
There you go. Jessy, thank you so much for chatting with us today.
Oh, no problem. It was an absolute pleasure. I hope you guys have a great rest of the day.
Again, Jessy King, author of The Exchange, Wild Times and Italian Rhymes. It's available right now at Amazon. Like you said, it'll be in bookstores soon. But if you just can't wait to get it, check it out at Amazon. Thanks for listening to The John and Heidi Show.
This portion of the program is brought to you by Keystone Treatment Center. Addiction is no laughing matter. Call Keystone Treatment Center toll-free at 1-844-204-1055.
Fun fact for you, Heidi.
What's that, John?
Electric refrigerators were first sold to American housewives in 1916. Guess how much they cost? Take a wild guess, since it's Take a Wild Guess Day.
$30.
$900.
Whoa!
Yeah. Another fun fact for you.
What's
1956, 80% of all U.S. households had a refrigerator, but only 8% of British households had one. So 80% of Americans and 8% of British households had a refrigerator in 1956. Fun fact for you, Heidi.
What's that, John?
The country whose residents eat at a sit-down restaurant the least is Russia. Russians eat at restaurants an average of 0.3 meals per month. Residents of Hong Kong, by the way, eat at sit-down restaurants the most at 8.7 meals per month. And I got to say, for once, I think you and I might outdo the people in Hong Kong.
I think so.
I think we go out more than that. It's almost that many times a week. Maybe it's not that bad. Fun fact for you, Heidi.
What's that, John?
Women's hearts beat faster than men's hearts.
Really?
Yeah. And our final fun fact for you, Heidi.
What's that, John?
When Bugs Bunny first appeared in 1935, guess what his name was?
What?
Happy Rabbit.
Really?
Yeah, Happy Rabbit in 1935. Thanks for listening to The John and Heidi Show.
John and Heidi.
This portion of The John and Heidi Show is brought to you by RadioReallyWorks.com. I know you're listening to a podcast, but did you know The John and Heidi Show is also a radio show? And for those of you who have businesses, you should consider using radio to advertise your business. We can even help you create some catchy little jingles or amazing radio ads that will help pull people in. Get all the details or just learn more at RadioReallyWorks.com. That's RadioReallyWorks.com.
John and Heidi.
Thank you so much for listening to the John and Heidi Show on a Friday. It is tax day today officially, even though we can do our taxes on Monday this year. They got this little extension thing going. It is still tax day. Maxim Magazine took a little time to tell us about taxes from around the world. Australia, 65% tax on cigarettes. The unflammable Aussies risk their life and limb with snakes and crocs in Australian rules football, but their government has to protect them from the perils of smoking. So they have a 65% tax on their smokes there. In China, 80% to 100% tax on foreign cars. Your old $5,000 Ford Escort would cost about $9,000 if somebody in China was dumb enough to buy it from you. Turkmenistan. I don't know if I'm saying it right. 100% tax on mineral water.
Whoa.
This is a former Soviet republic, and they slapped the same heavy premiums on cotton mittens, saws, blankets, pillows, and mattresses, deeming them, quote, luxury items.
Mattresses?
Yep. So is tourism, by the way. 100% tax on tourism in Turkmenistan. Costa Rica. I'd always thought it would be cool to go to Costa Rica, but there's a 170% tax on foreign poultry. Costa Rica has definitely taken chicken nuggets off their value menu, and they don't try to swallow that tax with a glass of milk, as foreign dairy is garnering a 96% markup.
Wow.
That's in Costa Rica. Sweden, by the way, even higher tax, 400% tax on hard liquor in Sweden.
Oh, yeah, I could never make that work.
Back in the 1800s, Swedes drank a whopping 46 liters of liquor per year per person. To fend off this encroaching Irishness, is what they called it, the Swedish government slapped a really high tax on alcohol, and believe it or not, it actually worked. They don't drink as much. They said, we don't want to be like those Irish. And our final and most high tax on the list here, or the highest tax rather, is from Japan. 1,000% tax on foreign rice. Japan has always been a good fortress to imported goods, but the Japanese will do almost anything shy of Harry Carey, according to the story, to keep an alien race out of their country when it comes to rice. No Uncle Ben's for the people in Japan. 1,000% tax on foreign rice. Keep all of that in mind as you're doing your taxes on this tax day, April the 15th. Thanks for listening to the John and Heidi Show on a Friday.
This portion of the program is brought to you by RVRealtor.com. If you want to buy or sell an RV, go to RVRealtor.com. List your RV for free. Learn more at RVRealtor.com.
If you're trying to lose some weight, maybe you skip the gym and just go take a nap. French researchers now say that an extra hour of sleep each day could help you lose weight.
I don't think they're saying skip the gym.
I think so. It's how I'm going to read it. Of course, it still makes sense to make some time for exercise. And you still need to have, some kind of good diet. But after going over 30 previous studies, researchers noticed there's a big link between weight gain and lack of sleep. There are two key hormones in our bodies that regulate fat. Gremlin, I don't think it's gremlin, ghrelin, I don't know what you say. That makes people hungry. It slows metabolism and decreases the body's ability to burn fat. And leptin regulates fat storage. When we lose sleep, we lose appetite-cutting leptin and gain appetite, causing ghrelin. Of course, the best time to start the habit would be, now, and get a good night's sleep and fight off obesity. And they say it's best to do it when you're young. Extra hour of sleep while you're young cuts a child's risk of becoming obese by 9%. So there you go. Kids,
that's huge.
Go to sleep early tonight. How's that sound? Thanks for listening to the John and Heidi Show.
John and Heidi.
If you've ever had an ache in your body, but you just weren't sure how you hurt yourself, maybe you could relate to this. A woman in Yonkers, New York, dealt with the pain in her neck for 3 days before finally seeing a doctor. The doctor found the source of the pain. It was a bullet.
Whoa!
Yeah, she'd been shot in the neck.
Whoa!
She wasn't even aware of it. A 23-year-old woman, whose name did not make into the story here, told police that she began feeling some pain and noticed a small amount of blood. 4 days later, she decided, I'm going to go to the hospital. This pain in the neck is a real pain in the neck. And the x-ray revealed a small caliber bullet lodged in her neck. Detectives say the woman is still trying to figure out why or when or where she was shot. She has no clue. She just knows that, hey, I've had this pain in the neck for a few days.
Oh, my gosh.
There was a little bit of blood, but it wasn't much. So I don't know what caliber, 22 or maybe it was a BB or a pellet. I have no idea.
I was going to say, because even a 22 would produce a massive amount of blood.
I have no clue. All I know is that happened in New York. Thanks for listening to the John and Heidi Show on a Friday.
John and Heidi.
This portion of the John and Heidi Show is brought to you by Knowles Systems. If you have funds earning less than 6%, listen to this. Commercial mortgage bridge loans pay 6% to 8%. That might be just what you need. You're placed in first position on loans secured by high-quality commercial real estate like hotels, apartments, and office buildings. Your principal never fluctuates in value. You receive 6% per year paid monthly, and your principal is returned in full at the end of each cycle. You never pay commissions, management fees, or asset charges, and you can make these loans inside or outside of an IRA. I'll give you a toll-free number to call, 888-547-8007. Start earning 6% now. Call 888-547-8007.
John and Heidi.
This next story both fascinates and aggravates me. Because it fascinates me because if this is for real, this is pretty cool, but I'm pretty sure it's not. Here's the headline. Time-traveling chiropractor
Okay.
I'm not sure if he drives a DeLorean at 88 miles an hour to get there, but in Athens, Ohio, a chiropractor claims that he can treat anybody by going back in time to when the injury occurred, and he's attracted the attention of state regulators. Now, a hearing has been scheduled for James Berta, who has been accused of being, quote, unable to practice chiropractic according to acceptable and prevailing standards of care due to mental illness, specifically delusional disorder, grandiose type, end quote. That's a pretty long quote.
That is.
James says he's not mentally ill. He says it's just that he possesses a skill that he discovered by accident while driving 6 years ago. He calls this treatment Balhalaquim, and it's a word that he made up. And he charges nothing for his first visit, and it's usually by phone or by internet. Subsequent treatments are $60. He also offers a money-back guarantee and says he's treated hundreds of patients and reports 9 out of 10 patients are satisfied. And again, here's what he's doing. This Balhalaquim that he made up the word. He claims that he made up the word. He says that you tell him how you got hurt, he will go back in time and stop you from getting hurt, and you pay him $60 to do that. If you could...
But if the first visit is free, why would you need him to do it again?
Can we call him? Please? I got a sore back. What's he going to do? Go back and stop me from eating too much? I have pain in the back because I'm overweight.
Oh,
wait, John.
my gosh.
I'm from the future.
That's
You need to quit
fantastic.
eating all of that stuff right now. I just can't imagine. Anyway, I think it's funny. James Berta is the guy's name, and I just think it's a funny story, and I had to share it. Thank you for listening. We've got some good news as we wrap things up here in a bit on the John and Heidi Show.
John and Heidi.
This portion of the John and Heidi Show is brought to you by the John and Heidi Show. That sounds kind of funny, but it's true. Go to your local radio station and ask them to start carrying the John and Heidi Show. Here's the best part. They can carry the show for free. They play a couple commercials, but it doesn't cost them anything every month. So if you know a radio station that could use a little bit of help, send them our way. Send them to johnandheidishow.com. Again, johnandheidishow.com. We would love to do a radio program in your community. Then you could listen to the podcast and listen to us on the radio.
John and Heidi.
We always try to end this program with some good news, and I really, truly think this is good news on 2 different levels. Now, first of all, I think it's good news because I'm a Christian, but even if I were not, I would still think this is good news. An atheist group has finally given up their 8-year fight after a Florida judge ruled in favor of 2 Christian ministries that have been helping in the rehabilitation of former inmates from drug and alcohol addiction. So here's the thing that I'm going to say. Like I said, even if I weren't a Christian, these people are doing something really
Right,
good.
they're trying to help.
For people who need some help. But this atheist group was not happy about that. The Council for Secular Humanism filed originally in 2007 against the Florida Department of Corrections to, quote, void its contracts with the Lamb of God Ministries and the Prisoners of Christ Ministries for violating the Florida's Constitution of, quote, no aid provision. According to the report, the judge recently concluded that the plaintiffs have not demonstrated that state funds are being unconstitutionally used in aid of a church or a sect or a religious denomination or anything. They're saying that there's no public funds being used for this. They're letting these people come in and spend their own money to help rehabilitate prisoners. And the Florida state said, no, we're not going to change that. We don't have the money to take over what they're doing anyway, so why would we stop them? And it's working, too. It's a program that's working really well. So, again, like I said, I feel that that's really good news, partially because I'm a Christian and I say, hey, I'm glad that they're winning. But even if I were not, they're helping people. They're helping people. Why would anybody complain that, hey, these prisoners over here that need some help, we shouldn't be helping them?
Right.
Does that make any sense?
Not at all.
So, I'm really glad that they won, like I said, for those 2 reasons. And I consider that some good news. And I hope you do, too. Time to say goodbye, Heidi.
Goodbye, Heidi.
Goodbye, everybody. Have a great day. It's Friday, April the 15th. Good news. You have an extension. You have till Monday to get your taxes done. We had a lot of taxing things in the news today. But like I said, if you didn't get them finished yet, you can put that off till Monday. I would start at about, 10 p.m. Monday. That's when I'd start. Thanks for listening to the John and Heidi Show.
Time now for the bonus break, only available here on the John and Heidi Show podcast.
John and Heidi.
And your bonus break is brought to you by the good folks at Knowles Systems. And if you haven't heard of them, well, you need to listen up because I got to tell you all about this. If you have funds earning less than 6%, maybe you should check into a better system like Knowles Systems. They have commercialmortgagebridgeloans.com. If you've never heard of a commercial mortgage bridge loan, I'm going to tell you what this is. It's a loan paying 6% to 8%, and it could be just what you need. You're placed in the first position on loans secured by high-quality commercial real estate like hotels and apartments and office buildings. Your principal never fluctuates in value. You receive 6% per year paid monthly, and your principal is returned in full at the end of each cycle. You never pay commissions, management fees, or asset charges. You can make these loans inside or outside of an IRA. If you'd like more info on how you can start earning 6% or more right now, call 888-547-8007. I'll give you that number again in a second, but first, you might want to just check out the website if that's easier. commercialmortgagebridgeloans.com. Again, commercialmortgagebridgeloans.com or 888-547-8007.
John and Heidi.
On our bonus break today, I'm going to talk about something that was sent to me from our friends at Wallet Hub. They send me a lot of stuff.
They do.
I don't read it all. I read it all, but I don't read it all to you guys because some of it's just dumb. But this was actually pretty cool. I've been saving it for a few days, and I figured today would be a good day for it. They did a 2016 credit score fun fact page. These are all based on a nationally representative survey that revealed a number of crazy correlations between our credit standing and our likes, dislikes, and lifestyles. So they asked a lot of people a lot of questions, and then they got their credit rating as well, and then they found out this. Celebrities. 88% of people with excellent credit prefer Taylor Swift over Kanye West. So the better your credit is, the more you like Taylor Swift, and the worse your credit is, the more you like Kanye West.
What kind of a comparison is that?
I don't know. Well, because Kanye West came up and, stole the spotlight from Taylor Swift at one point. Maybe that's why they put those two.
Huh.
TV hosts. People who have the best credit. 66% of the people with the very best credit, like Charlie Rose. Well,
who is Charlie Rose?
We don't have good enough credit to know that, Heidi. James Corden has the most fans
Who's
with
James
bad credit.
Corden?
We don't have bad enough credit to know that, Heidi. We're right in the middle. Music. Pop music has the most fans with excellent credit, 52%. Hip hop has the fans with the worst credit.
I could have guessed that.
Well, there could have been other. Could have been rock music. Could have been anything. Could have been. It would have been crazy if it would have been classical music or something. A lot of people with classical music. Terrible
credit.
I would assume that would be pretty high. I don't know. In jazz, I don't know. I'm just thinking out loud here. Sports. Hockey fans have the fans with the most excellent credit at 53%.
Huh.
Soccer fans have fans with the worst credit at 34%. Pets. Dog lovers are more likely to have excellent credit than cat owners, 46 to 40. So it's pretty close. Politics. This is the one that's really interesting. John Kasich has the most supporters with excellent credit, 60%. Hillary Clinton has the most supporters with bad credit, 26%.
And I could tell you why that is, too, but you probably won't let me go into that.
I was honestly thinking that Bernie Sanders would have fit on that even better, though. Because a lot of the things that he's talking about are really geared towards that generation. So, or to the people he's saying, hey, going to give you free college and free this and free that. Nothing against the candidate. I'm just saying I was really shocked about that one. Banking. USAA is the most trusted bank among people with excellent credit. I've never heard of
USAA.
And Capital One, what's in your wallet, is the most trusted among those with bad credit. Maybe it's because they keep asking,
Capital One.
What's in your wallet? And tech. iPhone users are most likely to have excellent credit. BlackBerry users are most likely to have bad credit.
Do they even still make BlackBerries?
Yeah, and that shocks me because you know who usually has BlackBerries? Business people. So apparently, I'm wrong about that, or business people have bad credit. That could be the case.
I would have liked to have seen the comparison between the Samsung Galaxy and the iPhone and how that works. Yeah, the Droid technology.
They must be right in the middle. So there you go. Hey, tax relief from the folks at Hallmark, their creation, Maxine, the Queen of Crabbiness. Here are 10 ways to ensure you get audited by the IRS. So if you want to get audited, which you probably don't, here are things to do. If you don't want to get audited, just avoid these things. Pay in pennies, delivered by a slingshot.
Yeah, stupid.
Clear way to get audited. Another one. Deduct calls made to the psychic network in an attempt to get a winning Powerball number. That's definitely a claim, isn't it? Oh, yeah, that's a deduction. Next, claim your cat as a dependent. That's a good way to get audited. Claim charitable deductions that you made that equal your income. I've given everything to charity.
I gave it all away, like the good book says.
On the line, it doesn't say give it all away. On the line that asks what you made this year, answer trouble. I made trouble. Deduct adoption costs associated with adopting a new personality. You know, I just decided to change myself this year, so I'm a whole new personality. I asked one time if we could adopt a highway and then claim that as a dependent. We adopted a highway. No, that doesn't work?
Doesn't work.
I was just trying to mess up our tax guy, and he said, I'll have to check into that. Please don't. Claim a home office as a deduction based on all the in-house counseling you give to friends and family. Another way to get caught up in the whole IRS audit is wait till the last minute and then copy the numbers from the guy standing next to you in line at the post office. Don't do that. Another way to make sure you get audited, fill out the forms in yellow crayon. Yeah, that's a bad idea, too. And then the last thing, detail 11,215 internet stock trades and claim that you came out exactly even. So there you go. Bunch of ways to make sure that you get audited on this tax day. That's going to do it for our bonus break. And I probably should have stopped at the first one because that was way better than the second one. So. But I do appreciate Hallmark putting all that together for us. Bonus break brought to you by Knowles Systems. In all seriousness, if you have funds earning less than 6%, you need a better system. Maybe you should reach out to Knowles Systems. They have these things called commercial mortgage bridge loans, and they're really cool because they earn you 6 to 8%. That could be just what you're looking for, right? Get that money working for you. All of the details can be found at commercialmortgagebridgeloans.com or call them toll-free and ask any question you can think of. 888-547-8007. Again, it's toll-free, 888-547-8007. Thanks for listening to The John and Heidi Show. If you call, by the way, tell them you heard about it on The John and Heidi Show.